I was shown an article recently on a site called Bounding Into Comics that says, in its title, Dungeons & Dragons to remove half-species from Player's Handbook claims the entire idea is inherently racist. This has predictably led to a lot of people saying, oh, look, wizards are the real racists. They're saying race mixing is racist, so they're the real racists. You've been misled, brothers and sisters. You've been misled a little bit. We've known for a while, thanks to Unearthed Arcana or the 1D&D public playtest material, that they're looking to do this. But what is this? They're looking to, instead of just having a couple of specific half races, implementing a way to mix any humanoid races. In the Character Origins playtests, there's a little box entitled Children of Different Humanoid Kinds. It says, thanks to the magical workings of the multiverse, humanoids of different kinds sometimes have children together. For example, folk who have a human parent and an orc or an elf parent are particularly common, a reference to half-orcs and half-elves being a race or species as they like to call it in the past, but now just being a result of this new formulation system, rather than their own category. Many other combinations are possible. If you'd like to play the child of such a wondrous pairing, choose 2 race options that are humanoid to represent your parents. Then determine which of those race options provides your game traits, size, speed, and special traits. You can then mix and match visual characteristics, color, ear shape, and the like of the 2 options. For example, if your character has a halfling and a gnome parent, you might choose halfling for your game traits, and then decide that your character has the pointed ears that are characteristic of a gnome. Finally, determine the average of the 2 options' lifespan traits to figure out how long your character might live. For example, a child of a halfling and a gnome has an average lifespan of 288 years. And if your character has a gnome mother and an orc father, mommy's dead. This rule is not included in the materials, I'm just saying. So I think it's clear a lot of things have gotten tangled. 1. It does seem true that Jeremy Crawford said the half construction is inherently racist, so we simply aren't going to include it in the new Player's Handbook. 2. It does appear half-elves, half-orcs will not be in future material. 3. Despite this, within official rules, you will still be able to make a half-elf, half-human, or half-orc, half-human character. They just won't have their own specific category, and they won't be referred to as a half-orc or half-elf. Yes, Wizards is being fucking cringe, but they're not banning race mixing. What they're doing is going, I don't like the way this sounds, guys. Yikes. Changing terminology because, I don't know, maybe they listened to the poem Half-Caste by John Agard and they were like, man, the word half is racist. Context is fucking irrelevant. While simultaneously moving to genericize everything, making everything into a system that can be applied freely. Which, one, makes their lives easier. They're never gonna have to go through and make half X, half Y for every single fucking combination. But also it allows them to listen to their diversity consultants and go, hey, we don't have half races anymore. Meaning they just don't use that term anymore. But everyone knows that's what it is. And they're making a trade of, I guess, more diverse fluff in that you can change the appearance of characters, you can mix and match anything for less diverse mechanics. Because any mix is just going to have the features of one of its parents. Now, if I stop now, this video will be short as hell. So let's dive into something in a bit more detail. What is the issue with the half construct? I think we're crossing wires between fantasy and reality again, boys. I'll grant, okay, it would be kind of weird if there were races that were like half Chinese and half black, and those race options were someone who is half white, half Chinese, half white, half black. The books are going out to people of all different races and ethnicities, and it'll be like, wait, why is the only thing considered worth mentioning this added on race? I'm black. If I were half Chinese, I would be half black and half Chinese. What's going on? This is awkward. Why are you assuming white is the default? Okay, I can get that. But, I guarantee you no orc is going to be reading the Player's Handbook. If you have half race, and then the assumed other half is human, you're not going to be stepping on anyone's toes. You're not going to have elves picketing outside of WotC HQ. Don't worry. If your discrimination against a fantasy race takes the same form as discrimination against a real human race or ethnicity, it's still not the same. If I punch a pillow, even though it's the exact same action as if I punched someone in the face, the details make it pretty fucking different. And I don't think it's correct at all to say half species is inherently racist. In fact, I'm going to go as far as to say, forget what I just said, actually. The real reason they're pulling out that suggestion is because they want their design to go through and be accepted. So they're just throwing on, oh yeah, plus it's racist if we don't do it this way. It's also, of course, a lot easier going forward into new editions or whatever they consider 1D&D to be, if you have less categories to balance. Another, even more cynical thought I have had, though, is they want you in their system. They want you using their virtual tabletop whenever that's available. They don't want you doing things for yourself. They don't want you going to third-party products. The more they cover, the better. The more they cater to people who just want to do the thing and do it right, do it the way it's meant to be, the better. I play Dungeons & Dragons only with official Dungeons & Dragons products. I'm a real fan type deal. The kind of person who will go, oh, I want to have an elf mixed with an orc. What do I do? Is this allowed? Is this allowed? And then if it is allowed and they see, wait, but there's no special rules for it officially, they'll feel like they've got something lesser compared to, you know, if there's a half-elf, half-human mix that has its own category. So no mix can have specific rules. It's just one general system that no one feels intimidated by. It's easy for them to just leave as it is. It doesn't look like there's an incomplete selection. You know, no one can go, there's half this and half that. Why isn't there a special set of rules for half this and half that? And so on. Continued broadening and dilution. It's not 6th edition. It's 1D&D. Infinite. We're done. To finish up, I would once again implore you to not buy into this mindset where people view tabletop games in the same way as, say, a video game. You're not locked in by it being a program. It's literally just ideas. Discussing where canon's going, discussing company politics that could be influencing things, looking at it as a reflection of culture where things are going, whatever. That's cool. For you as someone looking to play a game, doesn't matter. And plus, ultimately, if you take the tack of, oh, I've been playing for so long, this matters to me, this is part of what I've done, this is part of who I am, it's a hobby I care about the canon, I care about where the company's going with this product, I should have a say, I matter, I'm the real one. In other words, if you admit that they have you by the balls, I honestly think you're going to find less success than if you go, no, I'm a real one, I don't need to be validated, fuck you, I'll take what I want from your product, whichever ideas I like. I won't pay you. I'll do my own thing with my buddies. And maybe you could even, you know, just a little bit, just a crumb, stigmatize being an official product enjoyer. But, as usual, that's just another one of my harmful opinions.